Hey guys, it's Jeremy at Online Broadcast Blueprint, and I wanted to come on here and I'm not going to talk about radio stuff. Well, I am indirectly, but I'm going to come at it from an angle that might make you uncomfortable. But it's a conversation that we need to have. First, a quick update. Over the weekend, I had a chance with my other radio station, Classic Guitar Rock. By the way, my partner, at Classic Guitar Rock, is Rich. He's on fire. He's super excited. He's out pushing the station. We were at a veterans event, met a lot of folks, talked about the station, gave away some goodies, t-shirts. It was just a great event, and I would highly encourage you. Any opportunity you have to get out in public and talk to people. Here's the biggest battle we face as online broadcasters. The biggest battle is not marketing our station, it's marketing internet radio. I really think that's the biggest stumbling block, because the first thing people say, where are you on the dial? We're not on the dial. Okay, you have to explain that to them and get them to understand. Oh, and chances are they listen to iHeart or Spotify anyways. It's just, we're just like that. You can listen to us on your phone. Oh, okay. Have a QR code they can scan so they get you right. Whatever. That's the big battle. But anyways, if you can get out in front of people, talk to them, shake their hand, explain what you're doing. It's internet radio is where podcasts were 10 years ago, right? No one knew what podcasts were. Very few people did. Very few people listened to podcasts. Now they've just exploded. Internet radio is going to do the same thing, guys. So, be comfortable talking about that. But here's the real reason I wanted to get on here and talk this morning. I had a really nice lady shoot me an email last week, and she was interested in me doing some consulting work. And I'm like, well, that's awesome. That would be wonderful. Let me just throw this out there. If you're interested in having me work with you as you get your station off the ground, I'd be happy to do that. Let me know. But here's the part that I want to really talk about. I'm not going to share names. I'm not going to share specifics, but this lady, tons of business experience, tons of sales experience, tons of great ideas. And the only thing she's missing, and this is why she came to me, right? The only thing she's missing is the technical part. She's never had a radio station, right? So she doesn't know a lot of the nuts and bolts that all of us have had to learn and are still learning, right? That's the only blind spot she has. But you know what? Because she is so good at the sales part and the business part and the building relationships with other businesses, the networking part, she's going to be successful. And that's what I wanted to talk about. It does not matter how good your station sounds. It doesn't matter how great your mix is, how good your jocks sound. None of that matters. I mean, unless you're just doing it for fun. I mean, if you don't want to make money, then that's great. But if you want to run a profitable online radio station, it doesn't matter how good all those other parts are if you are afraid to sell your station. Most people, the idea of selling scares them. The idea of cold calling scares them. This lady I talked with, that's what she's done her whole career. That doesn't scare her at all. And she had a few really good ideas. I'm not going to tell you what they were, but one of them especially, I was like, that is the most brilliant idea I've ever heard of. She is in a large metropolitan area that we all know about. And this is the way radio is changing, right? Because of the big iHearts and because of the big, companies that buy up all these little radio stations, we're losing our local voice. And so she sees an opportunity in her metro area for a local radio station that's focused on local stuff. and she just already has tons of ideas. She just needs help with some of the technical stuff, getting it up off the ground, doing all of that. So she's going to be successful because she has the hard part already down, right? I think many of us are in the exact opposite position. We've got a great sounding station. We know how to use all the hardware and software, and we've got tools this and radio DJ that, and it sounds really good. But we never go out and ask for money. And until you do that, you're not going to make money. It's not going to fall out of trees. You have to be able to have the sales conversation, right? The feature, advantage, benefit. I mean, you have to pitch your station to sponsors or potential sponsors. I mean, sorry, that's what it's going to take, right? You've got to be out asking for money, asking for sponsors. I wish that weren't the case because I know a lot of people don't want to do that, but that's going to be the difference between your station actually making money and not. Okay. And even when you watch the videos on YouTube about how to run a successful, they skirt around the good old fashioned sales reality that you got to go out and talk to people about spending money with you and being a sponsor. You got to do it. They always try and get around that and say, well, you can do it this way. You can use whatever. I mean, really what it comes down to is you got a product, you got to sell it. You got to help people see the benefit in your product. You got to build relationships. Sales is about relationships. People buy from people they like. Okay. It's really as simple as that. You got to, number one, have an elevator pitch. You know what an elevator pitch is? An elevator pitch is something that you could tell someone about your station or product in the time it takes you to ride an elevator, right? What, 30 seconds? Okay. You need to be able to tell people why they should advertise on your station and how it's going to benefit them, and have that at the tip of your tongue that you can tell people that. And you get into all the old, Tom Hopkins sales, the reduction to the ridiculous, which is a great strategy, right? Help them understand how little they are paying per commercial, right? I told you when I'm charging people $100 a month and they run 18 times a day for $100 a month, they're paying like 15 cents a commercial. I mean, it's ridiculous. It really is, right? But you need to be comfortable having conversations about money and them parting with their money to become a sponsor. And you have to show them value for that. One of the things that has worked really well for me, maybe even better than running on the radio station, is I do Facebook videos. I get a new sponsor. I go on and I do a blurb about this sponsor on Facebook, and I get thousands of views of my dumb little Facebook videos. And I have people now asking me to do that, so that's again, we've talked about that in other videos. Social media is just another arm of your station, right? But provide value, ask for money. Don't be afraid to ask for money. Have the conversations with potential sponsors. Reach out to people. Make yourself a goal. Start small. Today, I'm going to ask 3 businesses to be a sponsor, or 10 businesses, whatever. Pick a number, stick to it. Okay? Stick to it. You're never going to get money if you don't ask for it. So that's your pep talk for today. Again, as I mentioned at the beginning, if you're interested in me sitting down with you and helping you get your station off the ground, I'd be happy to have that conversation. Shoot me an email at radiovalley@mail.com. But back to this friend that I met last week who's going to be starting the station. I'm going to be working with her. She's got the hard part down. I don't have any worries. She's going to have a money-making radio station. And I'll let you know how it goes over the coming months as she gets that launched and off the ground. She's already got the hard part down. She's already got the attitude, and she's not afraid to ask for the sale. And so I fully expect her to be very successful. Anyways, guys, thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time right here in the Online Broadcast Blueprint. Take care. Bye-bye.